Hi, everyone. Today we are going to talk about a new type of figurative language called similes and metaphors. Okay? Now, figurative language means using words in a way that provides more meaning than their literal definitions. It's used to paint a clearer picture in the reader's mind or to exaggerate an idea. We'll look at examples of that. Now, yesterday we learned about a form of figurative language called personification. Today, we're going to learn about these two new forms of figurative language, similes and metaphors. Now, similes and metaphors have a lot in common, okay? They both have to compare two things, and they compare two things in a way that shows that one is usually kind of an exaggeration of the other. Let's look at some examples to understand it best. So a simile is a comparison of two things using the words like or as. It must use these words. Okay, so for example, you might say, her eyes were as blue as the sky. And why would we do that instead of just saying her eyes were blue? Well, when you think of a big blue sky, you think of this beautiful shade of blue, and it might show how beautiful the person's eyes were. Okay. Another example could be the baby's skin was like velvet. When you think of velvet, you think of something very smooth and very soft. Okay, and so you see how this type of language is much more powerful than just saying the baby's skin was soft or the girl's eyes were blue. Okay. Here's some more examples. You could say someone is as busy as a bee. You could say something sparkles like diamonds. Someone is as hungry as a bear. Something might be as flat as a pancake or as hard as a rock. A metaphor is just like a simile, but it does not use these words like or as. So for example, the pillow was a fluffy cloud. We're still comparing two things. We're comparing the pillow to a fluffy cloud. And a fluffy cloud is almost like an exaggeration of the softness of the pillow. Now, sometimes people have a hard time creating metaphors. So the easiest way I think to create a metaphor is to start by creating a simile. We'll look at ones that we did in the previous slide. So her eyes were as blue as the sky. By starting with a simile and then taking out that word as, you could make it into a metaphor and just say her eyes were the blue sky. Now, we know we don't mean literally that they were the blue sky, but we say her eyes were the blue sky instead of comparing it using the word as. If we looked at the other simile, the baby's skin was like soft velvet. We take out the word like, and we could change it to a metaphor by saying the baby's skin was soft velvet. Okay. Here's some more. The sun was a gleaming pearl. My baby brother is a cute little teddy bear. My sister's memory is a camera that remembers everything we see. The car seat is a fluffy cloud. And custard is happiness in a bowl. So to summarize, okay, similes and metaphors are both forms of figurative language, meaning that they don't mean exactly what they literally say. They're used to paint a clearer picture in the reader's mind. Both similes and metaphors are a comparison of two things in which one thing is often an exaggeration of the other. Now, similes compare two things using the words like or as, and metaphors compare two things but do not use the words like or as. So today, when you try this, you should spend some time reading some of the poems that show similes and metaphors. You can find that in the poetry section of the Padlet. I would try to draft some of your own similes and metaphors. They don't have to be part of a poem yet. You might want to just practice drafting a bunch of different ones. Since it's going to be a nice day out, I love to go outside and get inspiration from different things in nature. So if you can, I'd recommend trying to get outside and getting some ideas from that. And remember that metaphors are tricky, so if you're having trouble with them, start with a simile and then change it into a metaphor by removing the words like or as. Have fun with your figurative language today.